Yeah, we're going to do a podcast.
Oh, and we're live. Welcome back to the Lighting Controls Podcast here live in Boston at the Boston Lights Show. If you haven't come here yet, you've only got a few minutes left to check it out, but you should still check it out regardless. It's a good show. But right now we have Josh from Slade & Feinstein Integrated Lighting, which has a special place in my heart because I'm lighting controls designer for this group.
Yes, you are.
But, the reason we brought you on is because of the unique aspect that Slade & Feinstein's bringing to the lighting and design world as an innovator in lighting controls design. And so, now that you've kind of made this decision to kind of go forward with lighting controls as a service that you're providing within the lighting design realm, how did that decision come about?
It came out of frustration, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Fair
and it was a very deep discussion that we had in our office where we kept hearing, and the frustration I would say would be coming from our clients.
Sure.
That what we were putting on paper, what we were telling them, how we wanted to create the scenes and, change their spaces and how it was going to be controllable wasn't realized at the end of the project the way that they were expecting. And I think there was a lot of hesitancy, so we would keep hearing the same thing. We didn't have a good experience.
Yeah.
We don't know how to use our system.
Right.
This wasn't commissioned properly. And we also, I think, we work a lot with the electrical engineers, so they're trying to interpret what we're doing.
Yep.
But also to their end, the electrical engineer sometimes is the very last person to get everything from us, and then so they're really cramming. And I think we just realized that it was twofold. One, we wanted to be able to give our clients the best service we could possibly give them. So we felt that if we brought in a full-time lighting control specialist who understood lighting, that we could actually start to give our clients exactly what they were being told they were going to get, and then have it commissioned at the end, and that's what they were going to see. And two, it was just to expand what we were offering, because we saw in the industry that people said they did controls, but we really felt like we wanted an in-house control department. And so we did start with one full-time engineer to come in, and then that way we could start to offer that service, and it just took off.
Yeah.
And then we brought you in.
Yeah.
And so that the whole idea is to start a whole division within our company that's lighting controls with the lighting design. And it's been, for us, I think, very seamless. And we're finding that a lot more of the architects, when we tell them that we can offer lighting controls, they get very excited.
Yeah.
And with some of our clients, it used to be, here's an adult, here's our proposal, and then if you want us to do basic lighting controls, here's an adult, and if you want full controls. We realized we just need to give them the basic controls no matter what. But some of our clients just started saying, when you write your proposal, just put the full controls in. It doesn't need to be an adult. That's a smaller percentage.
Sure. But the fact that you're addressing an issue that has just been growing in our industry is really incredible. And a lot of pressure has been put on the lighting designers to kind of take up that responsibility.
Well, when we're telling the architects and the client, listen, you can have the same room and we're going to give you all these layers of light, and you can create 5 or 6 different environments, and then that's not delivered. It's not a good reflection on us.
No, totally.
Even if, and so we just realized we need to own this. We need to have better ownership. And even with having full-time control specialists, we still have to check what the electrical engineer is doing, because we can't stamp, right? So they still have to own. So it's, no matter what, we found we were, constantly fixing, checking, updating, alerting, and we're like, why don't we why?
Yep.
It's just making us crazy. So why don't we just do it ourselves? And it's been great.
And by being able to now offer that to your clients and being able to really provide them exactly what you told them you were going to, in doing all this, what efficiencies has that actually gained for you internally as a company? How much has it, sped up the process? provided some efficiencies in how you operate?
That's a great question. I think the efficiencies are that there's not a lag time between us delivering something to waiting for the electrical engineer to interpret our zoning schedules and, our narratives, and then having to go through all the drawings that we were finding we weren't getting paid for,
Yep. Yeah.
but being, perfectionists, we can't let that go. So we were doing it anyway and absorbing it. So that was a lot of extra work for us, and we were not getting a revenue stream from that.
Right.
So we're going to do it anyway. Let's just put it back in our purvey. Like, we're the designer, we have the vision. There's no reason for an electrical engineer who a lot of times was just farming it out to the reps anyway.
Right.
So now you've got third, a tertiary, a rep who is interpreting what the electrical engineer is giving them, which is interpreting what we've given them.
Yep.
And now you're like 2 steps removed.
Right.
So that did not seem to be efficient. Yeah,
Totally.
So I think that drove it for us.
And so it sounds like, a lot of the response to this has been positive.
Yeah.
And so, what's a good example, like with architect or engineer, like what are you seeing in this other than just like, yeah, please include it? Like, are you seeing like positive results as well? Are people ending up being more satisfied with them?
Yeah, 100%. And also, we found that a lot of the electrical engineers were more than happy to
Totally.
let that go. We thought there was going to be pushback.
Right.
So I just say that right out the way. They're like, yeah, oh, great. They're doing it. The lighting center, fine with us. Definitely when we have our own staff out at the site, and commissioning, it's delivering what we said they were going to get.
Yeah.
And so, and this is only, this has been going on for, I think, 5 years now? 6 years since Jen came on board. But so it took a while to start seeing these projects actually installed. Right. But we've had no complaints.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be your typical issues with, the product and, install problems. But no, it's been pretty seamless.
That's great. A lot of the issues we've heard about in the past from other people is just, poor having not getting the quality that they wanted from their control system.
Right.
They've had a bad experience.
Right.
And so by being able to bring this in-house and really provide a much better experience for the end user, are you already seeing, or do you see us seeing better adoption and better adoption of lighting controls and people being more interested and knowledgeable, but interested in more advanced controls? We're not just focused on code minimum anymore because they've had a good experience or they know someone who's now had a good experience.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I think that's part of the friction point that we've been experiencing is the fact that people have had bad experiences.
They've had bad experiences.
So kind of changing that to positive experiences.
Well, I think, and the other thing is, I do believe sometimes an engineer or something, or a rep, if it's going directly to the rep, they have a certain control package that they want to provide. And whether that's the right one or not for the client, that's what's going to be pushed. We're agnostic. Mm-hmm. So we look at each project, what's the scale, what are we actually controlling? Is there, RGB? Do we need Dolly? Do we do DMX? Like, what is it to put together? Yeah. So we feel that when we're delivering the spec and the final product, that has been, really curated specifically for that project in a completely agnostic way.
Yeah.
No, I feel that I think it's taking a layer of friction out of there, where the client might not be getting the right system for their project, or
because they're talking to a salesperson.
For reasons that are beyond their control.
They get a percentage of it, right? They get 90% of the way there of what your vision was,
right?
But because that system isn't capable of that last 10%, they're missing some of those nuances and finite details that are so important to your design.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally agree.
Well, really appreciate you coming on the show. One last question for you. If you could change anything about this industry when it comes to lighting controls, or if you could get some technology or some workflow, what would you choose?
That's
I know it's a huge question.
I don't think I have an answer for that.
That's
I think we're still in the journey
Yes.
and it's
that's
still evolving. So I'm not, I don't have enough historic like perspective to look back. I mean, I can say that it's better than it was 10 years ago. It's better than it was before we started this.
Totally.
Um, and I feel like I would say the idea that lighting control, thinking back, that you're just adding this on to your lighting design was the wrong way to think.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting control and the lighting design are synergistic, and they you have to think about them together.
Yep.
So I would say I probably wish I had sort of understood that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We might have started this earlier, but I just thought, okay, now we need to control it.
Right.
It's sort of like the same thing of saying, oh, I built my architecture, now you light it.
Yeah. Right.
If you do it that way, you're missing so many opportunities.
Right.
But if you are doing it together, there's surprises, there's synergy, there's beautiful things that happen that you wouldn't have done if you were just how I used to recall, I used to call it decal lighting.
Right.
You just can't slap it on,
Right,
It's
right.
got to be
Yep.
integral. It's got to be part of the DNA.
Well, and to your point, I mean, a lot of lighting controls nowadays, if you do it right and you do it in a way that is streamlined at the beginning,
Yep.
Yeah.
you really see that sync.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Josh, appreciate it.
Thank you
And
very
Thank
much.
you so much for
thank
having
you
me.
everyone
Appreciate it.
for tuning in to the live stream here at Boston Lights.